So if you haven't already heard, fleets who do well and who are successful in this program use this book. They do. They read it, they look at all the scores, they do some planning about what they're going to be doing for the next year. So you can, the reason for that is you can see the scores of the Hall of Fame fleets and the best fleets to the top 20 best fleets to drive for each question. There's, we score a whole bunch of questions and you can see what everybody scored on each question. And what successful fleets do is they use it to benchmark how they did and then get some ideas about how to score better the next year. Because really the higher scores, we're not making this up. This is what fleets are doing. So everything you see in the book, somebody is doing. We are not making that up. So I highly recommend taking one back with you and ordering a report. Definitely order a report and compare your scores with the top 20 and the Hall of Fame. And I'm going to start it off with the fleets to watch. We had, as we normally do, we have 5 fleets to watch. We saw 4 prior fleets to watch move into the top 20 this year, which we love. And we hope to see that happen again in 2027. So here are the fleets to watch. Whoa. Let's try that again. So the first one is Arlo G. Lot Trucking. Come on. There we go. Next up is Herb Transport, based in New Hamburg, Ontario. Arlo G. Lot is based in Jerome, Idaho, and for some reason it doesn't want to stay on that slide, so I'm just going to shout them out. Next up, we have GB Transco, who's based in Joliet, Illinois. Quality Carriers, based in Tampa, Florida. And USXL, based in Forestdale, Montana. So give it up for our fleets to watch. Congratulations. And if you're watching, if you're here, excellent. If you're watching on our live stream, then you should be here next year. Hopefully you'll be actually one of the top 20, but if you're not, then come on down and see how to get on the list. So next up we have our small carrier category, which I can say now. I've had trouble with that in the past, and it's sponsored this year by Netrodyne. So being a small fleet doesn't really make any difference to the Best Fleets to Drive For program. You can be really small, you can be 20 drivers and still be an overall winner as well. And it's all about what you do with what you have. And the small fleets with us today have definitely demonstrated that they can provide a great workplace experience and lead by example to push the industry forward. So it's nice to see that we have milestones this year. So we're going to start with the milestones, which starts at 5 consecutive years. So I'm going to start with the fleets who have been on the list for 5 or more years, starting with, come on. There we go, Chief Carriers. Based in Grand Island, Nebraska, Chief was an overall winner in the small fleet category in 2023. They're celebrating 6 consecutive years as a best fleet. And with that win, if you get in next year, I don't know, it's touch and go, Andrew. They could be headed to the Hall of Fame. So they just have to get through 2027 first. Andrew Winkler, who's representing Chief today, is a great Best Fleets resource. He's brought 2 fleets to the Best Fleets. And so bug him if you have questions. I'm just shouting everybody out who you should bug if you have questions about Best Fleets. Next up is K&J Trucking, who you've already met, based in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And they've got quite the pedigree, and I mentioned this before. They're celebrating 5 consecutive years as a best fleet this year. They were the overall winner in the small fleet category in 2024 and 2025 and started out as a fleet to watch in 2021. So you can come a long way in a short period of time. And next up, we have Transland. Transland is based in Stratford, Missouri, and is also celebrating 5 consecutive years as a best fleet. They were named Fleet to Watch in 2019. So now on to the rest who are under 5. We have Brenny Specialized, who's based in St. Joseph, Minnesota. And they were one of our few, this doesn't happen very often, but sometimes we have a two-timer fleet to watch, and Brenny was one of them. But now they've hit 3 consecutive years as a best fleet. And Crawford Trucking, I'm just checking that they're out here because I wasn't looking. And that is the right one. Next is Crawford Trucking, based in Des Moines, Iowa, who's also celebrating 3 consecutive years as a best fleet. Ippolito Transportation, based in Burlington, Ontario, is a recent addition to the top 20. They were named a 2024 fleet to watch, and now they've made the list for 2 consecutive years. Next is Criska Holdings, based in Prescott, Ontario, celebrating 4 consecutive years as a best fleet. And we have a new entry into the top 20, who is one of last year's fleets to watch, Williams Dedicated, based in Michigan City, Indiana. Oh, shoot, I've been forgetting to do my slides. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. So here we are. We have a round of applause. Let's have a round of applause for the winners in the small fleet category. And Mark, I know you were supposed to be controlling the slides, so I apologize for that. Now I'm going to stop controlling the slides and let you do whatever it is that you want to do. So before that, I'd like to invite Adam Lang, Director of Customer Advisory Services at Netrodyne, who is no stranger to this award, to help present the award to this year's overall winner.
Under my coat.
What's under your coat? Oh.
The award.
Oh.
He just handed it to me, so
keep it under your coat.
It is under my coat.
Okay. No, you guys behave.
I didn't peek either, just so you all know. Appreciate you having us here. Boy, it's bright up here. Congrats to all the fleets receiving recognition today. It's an amazing honor, and we are so very proud to be one of the sponsors. It's an honor to represent Netrodyne as well, and to join in the mission of positive reinforcement and driver retention. That's kind of what we're all about too, analyzing 100% of drive time, emphasizing the positive. With 90% of accidents being preventable, we continually collaborate with our customers, leveraging their feedback to make a better product, a safer product, and safer roads for everyone. The companies gathered here, they're truly outstanding, making a tangible impact on drivers' daily lives. So we're privileged and honored to play a part in this remarkable collective effort.
Thank you. That's awesome. Okay. So the winning fleet, this year's winning fleet, has really utilized the Best Fleets program, using the reports and driver feedback to strengthen their programs every year. I'm still tickled that you have it in your jacket. So I want to just share a couple of comments from their driver surveys. It's not going to tell you anything, but they're good driver comments. So the first one is, no door is locked at our company except the restroom. Everyone is always available for the drivers, and that's from the maintenance crew all the way up to and including the owner of the company. And the second driver survey comment that I have is, they're more like a rowdy, bratty family, but filled with lots of love and appreciation. This fleet has worked really hard to achieve their results, and I'm very pleased to present the best overall fleet in the small carrier category to Crawford Trucking, represented by Tony Smith.
Boy, did I dread this. Whew. I didn't know what to say, but thanks for this company. Sorry. But this company's given me everything. Thankful to Greg, everybody at Crawford Trucking, and hey, this is a good award. Thank you all. Thank you.
Okay, so it's not to say that when you have a driver go up and get the award that you're going to get the overall award, but it keeps happening. So just make sure people have speeches. That's all I'm going to say. We need to make sure. Next, we have the large fleet category, and just so you know, I don't have the names or the companies on my script, so they're not going to get any. I'm not going to get any tips. So next we have the large fleet category. And the way that we determine large and small fleets is by looking at the top 20. We divide them in half based on size. So every so often, a company kind of makes the jump between large and small. That said, one of the things that's important to drivers is to be treated like a person and not a truck number. Our large fleets have demonstrated that it can absolutely be done without losing time or efficiency. So let's take a look at the winners in this category, sponsored by Isaac. As we did with the small fleets, we are going to first bring out the fleets who have hit milestones, starting at 5 consecutive years. First up is American Central Transport, based in Kansas City, Missouri. It's one of the fleets who made the jump to the large fleet category this year. ACT was named a fleet to watch in 2012, and they've been a best fleet for 9 consecutive years. He's talked to me an awful lot over Zoom. Next up, Thomas E. Keller, Trucking, based in Defiance, Ohio, has also been a best fleet to drive for 9 consecutive years. Both of these fleets, you have one more year, and then you're going to get kicked up onto the Hall of Fame. But you have to make it. Next up is Fortigo Freight Services, based in Etobicoke, Ontario. They're celebrating 7 consecutive years as a best fleet after being named a fleet to watch in 2019. So you see the pattern. Lots of fleets to watch do make it onto the top 20. Next up is Fremont Contract Carriers, who has been around the Best Fleets program longer than any other fleet here. They've won the overall award 3 times in 2009, 2011, and 2015. And this year, they're celebrating 7 consecutive years as a best fleet. Next up is Decker Truck Line, based in Fort Dodge, Iowa. And they were last year's overall winner in the large carrier category. This year, they can also celebrate 5 consecutive years as a best fleet. We also have Leonard's Express, based in Farmington, New York. They were a 2020 fleet to watch, and they have now got 5 years under their belt. They're 5 consecutive years under their belt as a best fleet. So that's 7 fleets celebrating anniversaries, which is pretty impressive, but we have a few more to bring out. Next up, we have Peninsula Truck Lines, based in Federal Way, Washington. And we're really happy to have Scott Manthe back with us, representing the 3rd company he's brought to the Best Fleets to drive for. That is, I believe, a record. And like Andrew, this is someone who knows the program and he knows what it is to be a best fleet. So if you want to go get some tips, go for it. Next up, we have PGT Trucking, based in Aliquippa, Pennsylvania, and they're celebrating 4 consecutive years as a best fleet. And last, but definitely not least, based in York, Pennsylvania, S&H Express. They are celebrating their 1st year as a best fleet after being named a fleet to watch last year. So I want to just let them have a moment in the sun for a second. So I'd like to present our large fleet winners. So as you all know, there can only be one overall winner. And to help present the award, I'd like to introduce Sam Susenguth, the Chief Sales and Marketing Officer at Isaac Instruments, and he's so short. Nice to see you. Oh, hide it, hide it.
It's tricky.
Here, I'll hang on.
You
to it.
got it?
Oh, no, wait, I have to still talk, so
You
you.
do, okay.
There you go.
I'll do that for now.
There you go.
Because of the height difference, I'm going to have to slightly adjust this. Thanks, Jane. Good morning. I wasn't sure if it was afternoon yet. We're incredibly proud to sponsor the Large Fleet Award here at Best Fleets to Drive For. When the CarriersEdge team reached out with us, the offer to sponsor this event, we jumped at the opportunity, and this being our first year, we're incredibly grateful. Isaac's core values are designed around the driver. You're all here today because you care and invest in delivering the best possible experience to your fleet. Leveraging in-cab technology that's dependable, integrates with your TMS, and is user-friendly shows that you care about your drivers. We're happy to be a small part of that, with many of our customers being honored here today. Having worked with a dozen or so of the carriers in attendance personally over the span of my career, it's not surprising to see you guys winning these awards. Despite driver shortages, compressed rates, rising insurance costs, you've navigated through all these challenges to provide quality service to your customers and, more importantly, good jobs to your community. Best Fleets doesn't recognize slogans or marketing. It recognizes real cultures built day after day, mile after mile, by leaders who listen and back it up with action. On behalf of everyone at Isaac Instruments, congratulations to all of you. Thank you for raising the bar for our industry.
So I didn't even tell him to say that. That was really nice. So again, instead of our observations, I'd like to share what drivers say about this year's overall winner in the large fleet category. So first up, I enjoy working with this company because of its commitment to excellence and the opportunities it provides to grow professionally. And all in caps, this comment is all caps: honesty, fair, equality, respect. There you go. What else do you need? And lastly, they look out for us, especially drivers with good attendance and safety standings. So I'm very pleased to present the best overall fleet in the large carrier category to Fortigo Freight Services, or Fortigo Freight Systems, represented by Ted Brown, and you're probably not expecting it.
Thanks for returning that back a little bit. Appreciate it. It's going to become evident very quickly that they don't tell you about this beforehand, so I'll put the words out best I can. As a proud Canadian, we're thrilled as always to be here and appreciate the hospitality of our American friends and everybody associated with this program. I'm joined here today by Steve Mirage, who trains our drivers. But on behalf of both he and I thank everybody at Fortigo who engages with our people every day, our great drivers who make everything we do worth it. Again, very proud just to be in this industry. I was really encouraged by the young people in that next gen presentation who seem to be understanding that more, and I hope all of us do. So thank you again. It's an honor. Really appreciate it.
So the final group is our Hall of Fame. They're the most misbehaved people backstage, just so you know. I think they're better now because Deanna has a firm grasp on what they're doing. So anyway, the requirements for the Hall of Fame are at least 7 consecutive years with an overall win, or 10 consecutive years as a best fleet. So we have some, like you notice, there's some people who are kind of, if they can get through 2027, they've got a shot at the Hall of Fame. But these are the people who are already in it. And it's a really impressive group who manages to excel every year. And sometimes they're keeping it up for over a decade. Like, it's crazy how many years they've been in the program. So they get a trophy for every year that they're in the Hall of Fame, because they're in the Hall of Fame. But there's also the Stratosphere Award, which is given to the best overall fleet in the Hall of Fame. But don't forget, fleets have to requalify every year. They don't get a free ride. And when they don't make it one year, they have to start again. No pressure. So we have a brand new member of the Hall of Fame this year, which we're really happy to see. So I'm going to bring them out first. Challenger Motor Freight is, come on out, Challenger Motor Freight. So Challenger was a 2015 best fleet to watch, and they have now hit 7 consecutive years as a best fleet. They won the overall twice, once in 2022 and again in 2024. So next year they get they're full members of the Hall of Fame. So when we have a new member of the Hall of Fame, you'll see that Brett doesn't have the thing on top of the trophy. So we have a little ritual. And to help me with that, I'd like to bring out Chris Davies, who's the Chief Strategy Officer at TruckRight. He has a very important job. So Chris has the red gem that goes on the top of the trophy. And he's got white gloves. This is a very important moment. So Chris, please proceed to place the gem onto the trophy, signifying your entrance into the Hall of Fame. There you go. Now the hard part. Now the hard part is that he has to keep the gem on top of the Hall of Fame trophy. So thank you, Chris. And did we get it? Did you get a picture? Okay. Okay. Thanks, Chris. So sponsored by TruckRight, let's bring out the rest of the Hall of Fame. Bison Transport, based in Winnipeg, Manitoba, who I haven't seen yet. So hi, Garth. They've been a 13 consecutive year best fleet with 3 overall awards in the large carrier category in 2016, 2017, and 2018. Bison has been in the Hall of Fame since 2022. Next, we have Boyle Transportation, based in Billerica, Massachusetts. And they've been a top 20 for 12 consecutive years, with 2 overall wins in the small carrier category in 2020 and 2021. They've also been in the Hall of Fame since 2022. Next, we have FTC Transportation, who's been a Hall of Famer since 2022. They won the overall award in the small carrier category in 2016 and have been a best fleet for 14 years. FTC is one of 2 companies who has the longest unbroken consecutive year record in the Best Fleets program right now. Next is Garner Trucking, who's celebrating a milestone this year with 10 consecutive years as a best fleet. They also have a very impressive history. They were the overall winner in the small fleet category in 2022. Then they made I hear the clanking. They made the Hall of Fame in 2023, and then they won the first Stratosphere Award for the overall winner for the Hall of Fame in 2024, and then again in 2025. Halver Lines is the second fleet with an unbroken winning streak. They've also been a best fleet to drive for an impressive 14 years. They first entered the Hall of Fame in 2022. Next, we have Nussbaum Transportation, who is no stranger to overall awards. They were the 2019 overall winner in the small carrier category, and then they were flipped to the large carrier category, and they won it again in both 2020 and 2021. They've been on the list for 12 consecutive years, and they've been in the Hall of Fame since 2022. Next, we have Prime Inc. with 11 consecutive years as a best fleet to drive for. They were also the 2019 overall winner in the large carrier category. They round out the fleets who originally made the Hall of Fame in 2022. last but not least is Transpro Freight Systems, who has been a best fleet to drive for an impressive 13 consecutive years. They were inducted into the Hall of Fame. They got their red gem in 2023. So I'd like to present to you our Hall of Fame. To help present the third annual Stratosphere Award, please welcome again Chris Davies, Chief Strategy Officer at TruckRate.
Hi, everybody. So a few minutes ago, I had the privilege of helping welcome Challenger Motor Freight into the Best Fleets Hall of Fame. Anyone who knows this program knows that is no small thing. It represents years of commitment to drivers, to culture, and to doing things the right way. This program, the Best Fleets program, matters a lot because it reminds our industry of something simple. Trucks move freight, but the best fleets are built around people. At TruckRate, we're proud to support this program every year because it shines a light on fleets that truly invest in their drivers. That's a big part of our DNA and why we do what we do every day. And now we're going to recognize the very top of that mountain. The Stratosphere Award goes to the highest scoring fleet among the Hall of Fame companies. In other words, the best of the best of the best of the best. It's many levels of best. And in trucking, where the competition is fierce, and as we saw earlier, drivers are always ready to tell you exactly what they think. Reaching the stratosphere is mighty rarefied air. So congratulations to all the Hall of Fame fleets. And now let's see who reached that stratosphere this year. Jane?
Thanks very much, Chris. Just before I go on with the Hall of Fame, I just wanted to shout out one of the large fleet, one of the large fleets, Continental Express, who even Chris is taller than me, who couldn't be here, was actually trying. They were Brad was nearly on a plane, and then security closed. So he was thwarted at the last minute. So there's a lot of effort sometimes to get here, and it's been quite the journey for some of us. So I appreciate everybody being here and the travel issues that Chicago has for everyone. So let's go back to the Hall of Fame, and I just want to shout out the driver comments for the winning fleet. And the first one is, everything's awesome. There's absolutely nothing I would change here. Next is, what I like best is the freedom to work as drivers see fit. Pick it up and deliver on time. Do it however you want. And the last comment, I have been treated better here just as a person. I've been treated better here than anywhere else. You're welcome in the offices, and they'll sit and talk with you and just treat you like a human. And I think that kind of sums it up for this fleet. I'm really pleased to present the Stratosphere Award to FTC Transportation, represented by Julia Williams.
Okay, I have absolutely nothing prepared. So, yeah, I mean, beyond our wildest dreams, I mean, with this group of people is amazing. If you don't know, we only have 25 trucks. We do have super close relationships with every one of our drivers, and they mean the world to me and to everyone in the office, the shop. But yeah, every team member is super important. Every team member got us here. So I want to thank them all. And yeah, huge shout out to my drivers. Thank you.
And that's it for the awards. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for being online and watching. And hello to everybody back at Carrier's Edge. And I am pleased to announce that you can all have lunch now. So we'll be back in real life in about, after lunch. And thank you for joining us online. And we're done. Thank you.